Hey, Healing Hot Girls, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast, y'all. So, I feel like I'm always starting these episodes off with a disclaimer, but disclaimer, girl, okay? I literally just stepped foot in the door and sat down to film this episode because in the other episode, I had filmed another video prior, and it was a self-care and sip, and I actually had a sip, and I'm like, girl, what the fuck are we talking about right now? I felt like I was just bouncing around from topic to topic. And I'm like, this is like, I cannot put this out. I cannot put my name on this. So, y'all, today we are talking about putting the hot girl back in Healing Hot Girl. Okay. And listen, I feel like this was long overdue, respectfully. Like, I just feel like this entire journey that I'm on right now has been me trying to put the spark back into my life, put the hot girl in Healing Hot Girl, put the hot back in Healing Hot Girl. And honestly, I just feel like everybody deserves a spark in their life. Everybody deserves a life that they're excited to live, that they're excited to wake up and embark on. So let's get into this, okay? For starters, let's just say you're in a position where you don't really feel like, you know, your life is as exciting as you want it to be, or you just want to try something different, or you don't want every day to look the same or be mundane. This is the episode for you if you feel that way. Let's first explain what it means to be a hot girl, because I feel like people have different interpretations, but when you're in the Healing Hot Girl community, this is what we're talking about, okay? So for starters, being a hot girl is far from being a hoe. Let's clear that up. Let's clear the air on that. Being a hot girl means that she's educated, she's a boss, she's badass, she's smart, she's poised, she's in tune with her emotions, she has, you know, firecracker energy, but she also has soft, subtle energy. So she's not afraid to dabble in her feminine energy, but she's also not afraid to check you when you need to be checked. She is a force to be reckoned with. She loves herself. She loves those around her. She understands that she is love and she has to embody the love that she is seeking. She's empowering. She's encouraging. She's trustworthy. She trusts herself. She trusts her intuition. She shows up as her authentic self. She's patient. She's graceful. What I also wrote and I want to share here is she's the fire, but she's also the rain. She's the whistling in the wind, but also the lightning that strikes trees down. Okay? Because thank you. So to me, that's what being a hot girl means. And I know, like, I write my show notes out, but I try to go off the dome of what I truly feel. But I felt like that had to be, like, emphasized. Okay, so I'm going to put the full definition of what I feel like a hot girl is on the screen. But ultimately, this is what I feel a hot girl, specifically a healing hot girl, is. Some people might ask, am I too old to be a healing hot girl or a hot girl, period? Absolutely not, sister. Okay, there's no age limit. There's no age limit because we're constantly evolving. You may be 60, but your spirit is 25, okay? So let's go into how to reignite the spark in your life. First of all, let's figure out when you lost it, okay? I'm a movie girl, so I feel like every movie has been inspired by somebody's life at some point. So it's common that some people lose their spark when they have kids, or some people lose their spark when they have marriages because they're so consumed in their partner and they don't really have a life, or they're, consumed with being a stay-at-home mom and making sure everybody else is straight that they don't make time for themselves. Another thing might be you are dabbling in so many things that you literally don't have time for yourself. You're going to work, you're going to school, you're doing this, you're taking care of this person, you're taking care of that. You got to make sure this is together. And a lot of times it can be easy to lose yourself in doing so many things for other people or just making sure you're on top of your schedule. We understand that wholeheartedly. But one thing I did notice is that I used to always say, okay, I'm locked in. And it was literally all work. But that pushed me to being burnt out and feeling burnt out even more. Because it's like now I don't feel like I have a social life. But now that I have a social life, I feel like I thrive when I'm social. You feel me? I feel like there's certain experiences and lessons that you get when you're social that you can't get when it's literally just you. For me personally, I realized that I need that social aspect, but I also need that work aspect because I need to work my ass off to get to where I need to be. But also I need that social aspect because I still need to, remind my friends that I care about them. And, we need to be able to support and uplift and empower one another in the areas that we need it most. So one thing I would suggest for you to do is to lean into your whimsical side. Now that means lean into your softer girl energy. Now some people might take this as like girl, I can't do that right now. Like, I really need to be locked in. But I want you to pick one task. Even if you do once a month, go on a solo date. I really push for people to do solo dates because spending time with yourself is so important. Now, you could do this with a friend who's on the same type of wavelength as you as well. But me personally, I wanted to know what my energy was like, how I react in certain environments. And I also just feel like when you spend time with yourself, you obviously are learning about yourself. I struggled with being alone. And I didn't realize that I struggled with being alone until I was forced to sit with myself. So it's like I kind of was forced into solitude, but I decided to turn it into this beautiful thing where it's like, bruh, I'm just going on a solo date. Like, fuck it. It also happens when you get tired of waiting on people. It's like, oh, our schedules don't really intertwine right now. At some point, you just never do it and the plans just fall by the wayside, but you still want to do the thing. I know that's a common thing as well. So it's like, fuck it, let me just do it. Like, if we go back, we go back, but I'm going, you know? When I say lean into your whimsical side, for me, that looks like going to classes, going to workshops, doing different activities. I told y'all previously that creating is a way for me to not only invest in myself, but tap into my creative side. Like, I just love how I feel when I create, regardless of what I'm making. And I usually do things that aren't my personal crafts because it forces me to step outside of my comfort zone, to become a student, take a back seat. And it's like, I don't really feel as much pressure to be good at it. As opposed to when it's my craft and the things that I'm personally working on, or, you know, it ties into the goals that I have. So if you've been following my journey, you know, I've done pottery, you know, I've done archery, you know, I've done aerial yoga. I'm still adding on to the list, but those are a few things just to give you an idea of possibilities, the things that you can start to dabble in, even if things like that don't interest you. Like if you want to go try different restaurants, if that's your bop, try that. Like there's so many things out here, especially in New York, if you're in the New York area, to do. Honestly, just try some shit out, bro. Like try some shit out. I call it your whimsical side because I feel like when you're creating or when you're free to express or just in a vulnerable state, you are able to let go a little more. Like you're able to release the reins and, you know, let your guard down a little more. And I feel like that is the energy that we need to thrive, because a lot of us are working out of survival mode, or a lot of us are trying to transition out of survival mode. If you're stuck in survival mode, when do you really have time to relax? When do you really have time to unwind? I feel like that needs to be a priority for me amongst others, just because you need that separation for it to not feel so heavy. I wish I could explain it how I feel it. But overall, when I do these things, I naturally feel lighter. I naturally feel happier because it's like I'm doing something for me or for the betterment of my mental health. And it has nothing to do with my career. It has nothing to do with money. It's just me doing this activity, making myself feel good, doing something that I always wanted to do, checking it off my list. Like, that makes me feel good, you know? And if you're anything like me, there is a possibility that this will be a solution for you. Another way that you can reignite the spark in your life and put the hot girl back in Healing Hotgirl is spending time with your friends, okay? Honestly, I feel like your friends just naturally bring out a different side of you. I don't know about y'all friends, but I feel like I'm just able to let my guard down. I'm able to be vulnerable naturally. Like I'm able to just express myself and just be real. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that that's not my energy all the time, but it's like, you know how you code switch when you go into corporate settings? Like even when I place the order, I'm like, hi, my name is Khairiya. I wanted to da-da-da-da-da. And then when I'm with my friends, I'm like, girl, let me tell you about the day that I had. It's like how when I talk to y'all how I talk to my friends. So it's like, girl, let me tell you, please, sister, please. Just being in a space where your friends is, I feel like it brings out a different side of you, and I love how it does. I love how it makes me feel. So I'm vouching for that for everyone else. Thirdly, I would say you have to actually allow hot girl energy into your life. Now, me, I felt like I was always on the fence. I was always the safe friend, if that makes sense. I wasn't really as outgoing as I am now. Was more so closed off, and I was focused on the few things that I liked. And when I was in a routine and I had things that I liked, I was doing those things all the time, right? Now, granted, some of my life still is like that, but I do still like a side quest. One of the main factors in allowing hot girl energy is to follow your intuition on things. Okay, hear me out. We talked about responding differently last week. Sometimes your initial response may not give you the hot girl energy that you want. You feel me? So sometimes you do have to respond differently. We talked about this last week. Like, for example, if your friend invites you out to the club and you're usually like, girl, no, I can't. I don't want to. Like, I don't even want to be. No. When you really want to go to the club, when you really want to go out, and it's like, you got the bandwidth to go out. Your home is taken care of. You got this taken care of. You got this all sorted out. It's like you really can't go outside. Why don't you want to go outside? Go outside, girl. Follow that inkling. And 9 times out of 10, every time I've done that, whereas like I really wanted to go, but I was like, no, and I was on the fence and I ended up going, I had a freaking ball. And that's the same as when you want to go out and you feel like you shouldn't go out. When you feel like you shouldn't go out, stay home, okay? I just feel like a lot of my life has become me following my twinkle. I call it twinkle, flutter, intuition, whatever you want to call it. I try to use fairy terms because I just always have loved Tinkerbell. Like, that's so irrelevant, but I just like to use cute terms to make things sound better. So I follow my twinkle, I follow my flutter, I follow my intuition. And I feel like a lot of life is like that. Every time I haven't followed my flutter or my intuition, I have not had the best experiences. And I have paid the price. Okay. So a lot of that really has to do with following your intuition and trusting that you know what's right for you in this current moment. Honestly, I really just want to push for everybody to invite some fun in their life because everybody deserves to have a little fun. Now, I'm not saying go overboard like I do sometimes and splurge on a shopping spree or spend too much. I'm not saying do all that. I'm not condoning your spending habits. But what I will say is spend time with your friends. Spend time alone. Go to that class that you've been eyeing for weeks. Go to that cooking class because you just love pasta so much. Go to the movies by yourself. Try something new. Try something out of your comfort zone. Even if you want to take a trip, build yourself up and pay for the trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, do things that you genuinely are curious about, that you genuinely enjoy, that you are excited, that brings you a thrill, that makes you smile, that you can't stop thinking about. That is what basking in hot girl energy is. And being a healing hot girl means you're not just doing all of the hot girl things, but you're still doing the inner work. Like, a lot of times in these experiences, I'm also able to think clearer. I told y'all that too. Like, a lot of these experiences help me bring clarity to certain situations. Like, it could be something I thought about maybe 2 weeks ago, and I'm just getting clarity on it this week at this craft. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm sitting here doing pottery and I'm thinking about, damn, I shouldn't have talked to my friend like that. Or I shouldn't have talked to my man like that. I should have been sweeter. Like, you know, and it's like, he probably over it. He probably not paying it no mind at this point. But I'm just like, damn, babe, like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to not talk to you. I didn't mean to talk to you like that. You know, like, sometimes I just be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or at least that's how it be with me, y'all. But I'm just saying, like, different crafts bring out different sides of you. And I feel like when you are doing things when you are doing things that naturally make you soft and make you whimsical and fairy-like, you know? But I say all that to say, y'all, being a healing hot girl, it's not easy. It's not for the weak. It's still doing the work, but it's not all doing the work. Like, I used to think you just had to be head down, focused. And that is a great thing. That is a great trait to have. But I also feel like sometimes you need to look up. Being a healing hot girl is not easy, y'all. And I really commend anybody who is on this journey of trying to balance life, trying to balance work, trying to balance social, just doing the damn thing, you know, just trying. I really want to commend all the healing hot girls here with me today. All those just joining. We actually have quite a few new viewers. So hello, healing hot girls. Welcome to the community. I do have some things coming soon. So please hold on tight. Okay. Coming with some stuff for the girls that is community based. So yeah, I hope to see y'all sooner rather than later. I love y'all. I can't wait to see y'all in the next episode. Don't forget that hot girls need healing too, but that's okay because that's what we're here for. And if you needed a sign, if you ever needed a sign, this is your sign today to put the hot girl back in healing hot girl. Okay. I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye.